Good afternoon to all. Welcome back, participants. Please switch on your video. Participants, I request you to please switch on your video during session. Okay, now I am going to start today's session, the day 2. I hope you all will be aware basics of entrepreneur and what exact entrepreneur, who is entrepreneur, and quality of the entrepreneur. So today further we will start the next session on the topic of schemes of assistance for MSME by Dr. Ragini Johari ma'am. Dr. Ragini Johari is a post-graduation in business administrator and a PhD in training and development. She served the corporate sector for 4 years, during which she was associated with brands like Coca-Cola, Thumbs Up, and Wipro Technologies. Dr. Ragini holds more than 25 years of experience in training, teaching. Presently, she is associated with the Flying Club, a training and manpower solution firm based at Lucknow, and Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti Language University, Lucknow. She has also been a resource person at various government and private organizations. She has been invited to speak on topics like communication, team building, negotiations, leadership, interpersonal relationships, monitoring, self-efficiency, patience, customer service, etc. in several organizations like SGPGI, Lucknow also. Ragini ma'am has many research papers to her credit on various subjects like marketing strategy, HR issues in SMEs, etc. and also published in reputed national and international journals. Ragini ma'am is also associated with organizations like NIPM and Lucknow Management Association. She is also a life member of NHRD Network Lucknow chapter. So now again I would like to invite to Dr. Ragini ma'am. Please continue the session.
You are mute.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Am I audible now, participant?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
I think all are requested to switch on their videos. So,
yes, of
so
course.
Jyoti ma'am can have a photograph.
Yes, of course.
Is
Please
requested.
switch on, all of you, please switch on your videos. I know all of you look beautiful. All women are beautiful. So let us all capture a beautiful photograph of each of us. Please. सब लोग अपना वीडियो ऑन कर दीजिए. Aksha Khan has not yet put on her camera. Neha Pawar, Sharmishta Chatterjee, we are still waiting for you to switch on your videos.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Jyoti ma'am, can we have a small pic of all of us?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the ideal moment.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay, thank you so much. But that does not mean कि आप लोग अपना कैमरा बंद कर दोगे. These smiles should continue. These smiles should continue to be shown. Okay. So, a very good afternoon to all of you. And today we have gathered once again. This is the second day of this 25-day long WEDP, that is Women's Entrepreneurship Development Program, through online platform. And as I said yesterday, yes, we are going to have a knowledge-packed session today, as we will be doing, we will be rather discussing about various schemes given by Government of India for entrepreneurial ventures. Some of you yesterday were asking from where to get loans. Suppose I don't have anything and I want, but I have that willpower to start my venture. So who is going to give me that big sum of money कि मैं कहाँ से कि that I start my venture? So probably all those queries, all those questions might be answered today through these schemes that I'll be talking to you about today in all these 4 sessions of today. As you would have seen that today's all 4 sessions would be taken by me only. Apart from this, in case if something is left, so you can of course ask later on, or you can post your queries in the chat box also. So if at all it is left somewhere, so of course we'll try to, or I'll rather try to address to your query. And if I'm not able to, then we have certain other members, certain other people, the speakers, the resource persons who actually are the expert in, say, from banking or say from entrepreneurial areas and all those. So probably they can address your session, this query. So now let us move on without wasting much of your time. Let us move on to the topic, right? So just a second, I'll just present my video. Yeah. Yes. So can you all see my video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. It's visible to me now. Okay. So the government of India, since the independence, has been very, very focused on the growth and upliftment of these small scale industries, right? Why I say small scale industries? Because at the time of independence, the term which was coined here, which was taken into consideration, was small scale industries, SSE. And with the help of various policies and schemes of assistances, government tried to grow, government tried to encourage people to come forward and have those SSEs or start those small ventures in order to create employment opportunities and avenues in the country. Later on, and it kept on becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And later on, in 2005, there was this MSME, this number gradually increased a lot. And then they, for another, I can say once again, rather, the division took place. And then it was divided, the entire industrial setup was divided into 3 such parts, apart from the large industries, that is micro, small, and medium, right? And with that only, then this an act was made, the policy framework was created in the form of MSME Act in 2005. Since then, the government has been more vigilant and has worked more towards the upliftment and growth of these MSMEs, right? So as a result, what we find, there is a plethora of schemes. And so I'll be taking it one by one in each of the sessions, okay? Yeah. So let's move ahead. So this is the latest classification of MSMEs, which came into force on 1st of July 2020, the most recent one. Wherein the big change that has been done was that unlike the earlier one, the manufacturing enterprises and the service enterprises were clubbed together. There was no demarcation between the manufacturing enterprises that they are getting more funding and the service organizations which are getting less funding. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. So these two were clubbed together. And then the funding amount was decided accordingly. So we have, as I said, we have 3 types of units or enterprises: micro, small, and medium enterprises. And for micro enterprises, The investment limit in plant and machinery or equipment should not be more than 1 crore, and annual turnover should not be more than 5 crore. If your unit lies under this category, it will be treated as a micro unit. As I said, this is applicable for both manufacturing as well as service enterprise. For a small unit, this amount becomes, for investment purpose, it is 10 crores and annual turnover should not exceed 50 crores. And for in case of medium enterprises, the investment should be not more than 50 crores and annual turnover should not be more than 250 crores. So this is the upper limit or upper cap which has been put to these units, right? That means any unit, any enterprise having a turnover more than 250 crores will automatically be considered as a large unit, right? And thereby, the moment they become large units, they can, of course, they can in the investment in plant and machinery or equipment, right? Please understand, it's not plant and machinery, equipment also. In case of service rendering organization, it will be equipment. So plant and machinery or services can be more than 50 crores. So moving ahead, so that means we are now talking about these units, micro, small and medium units, and the schemes that have been made by government for the upliftment, for the growth are for these three types of units. So let's move ahead from one by one. The first ever scheme that I will be talking about is the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program and Other Credit Support Scheme. The idea behind starting this particular scheme was to create the employment avenues, opportunities for people from coming from different sectors of life. And in totality, we talk about the idea was to enhance or better the business environment and the economic environment of the country. The GDP should rise. That was the major objective out here, right? And in order to do that, in order to increase or enhance the economic environment, what was required? Employment. So through this scheme, the government focused on self-employment and creating employment for others. So we have a few schemes under this big category. So let us first start with this category. Now, this particular category, the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, basically focused on Khadi sector, right? Because when this scheme was made, Khadi was something which was most indigenous thing, most domestic thing, and this could be this was a legacy which was given to us by our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So therefore, this Khadi was taken here into consideration. So this scheme is implemented, as you can see, at two levels: the national level and the state level. At national level, it is implemented through KVICs, and at the state level, it is implemented through KVIC directorates, State Khadi and Village Industry Board, that is KVIB, and DIC and banks. Okay, fine. Now, this is the important part. How this scheme can be is implemented and how this assistance can be given to the beneficiaries. So let me tell you, there is no things like aid or or benefit given. It is of course the people who are getting the who are being covered under this scheme. Yes, they are called the beneficiaries, but of course the benefit is in terms of the subsidy on the total project cost, right? So first thing first, the total project cost under this scheme is if it is in the manufacturing sector, it has to be 25 lakhs, and if it is a service sector, it has to be 10 lakhs. So that is the maximum or the upper limit in the project cost. And under this scheme, you get the subsidy on this project cost. The subsidy is like this. As you can see, there are two categories, urban and rural. And if you are a general category candidate, and if you are putting your unit in the urban area, it is 15%, and in case of rural area, it is 25%. But for women like us, women entrepreneurs, this number has been increased, as you can see out here. Right? This is the limit of extent of benefit for us, the women. If we are putting up any such unit, service unit, or any manufacturing unit in urban area, we get the subsidy of 25% on the project cost. So suppose if I am putting a service sector unit, and I am planning to invest 10 lakhs rupees, so out of 10 lakhs, there is a subsidy of 25%. If I am putting it here in Lucknow, that is in urban area, so I get a subsidy of 25 lakhs. That means that once I invest at 10 lakh, or once I present my proposal for 10 lakhs, I get a subsidy of 2.5 lakhs on it. Right? So this is the extent. That means 10 lakhs worth of project is applicable at the cost of 7.5 lakhs. So 2.5 lakhs are still here in my hand to invest on certain other sundry items. Right? So this is the kind of we can say benefit government is giving to the women under this scheme. Okay. So now the question comes, who can apply? Right? So any individual above 18 years of age, at least standard 8 pass, is eligible for project costing above 10 lakhs in manufacturing sector and above rupees 5 lakhs in business or service sector. No ongoing projects will be funded through this scheme. Only new projects are considered. Then the self-help group, including those which are belonging to BPL also, or any other such institutions which are registered under Societies Registration Act of 1860, cooperative societies, charitable trusts are also eligible, provided they are not covered under any other scheme. That is important, right? That means you cannot take a benefit from all the schemes together. You have to be registered under, or you have to take the benefit only from one scheme. Application wise, yes, you can apply online using this portal, kviconline.gov.in, or you can visit any KVIC office in your city, and through them also you can apply. However, if at all you do not have any KVIC office in your city, then DICs are always there. District industry centers are always there. District industry centers are present in all state capitals. So if you are living in any state capital, you will have the privilege of to go to the DICs also, and you can take the benefit of this scheme through DICs as well. So this is it. Now we move to the second one. Okay. Second is the Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for Micro and Small Enterprises. Now this is something very important, interesting out here. Way back, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and SIDBI jointly established a trust called Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises. Okay, and this fund trust has been giving the fund or giving the aid to the budding entrepreneurs in micro, small, and medium enterprise category. Right now, the corpus of this trust is contributed by Government of India and SIDBI, and The best part is the total, the 75% of the loan amount to the bank is guaranteed by the trust fund. Okay, so how are you going to get the assistance to this trust? Something very important out here, I would say, please understand, please remember, it's a collateral-free loan. I hope all of you understand what is a collateral-free loan. Yeah? Do you understand what is a collateral-free loan? Anybody? What is a collateral? Okay. I'll explain it to you. See, the collateral-free loan. Whenever you apply for a loan in a bank, so you have to give something as a guarantee. Okay? Is it so? Right? That happens. So whenever you are applying for any loan in the bank, the banks always ask for the guarantee. And bigger the loan quantum, bigger the loan magnitude, bigger is the guarantee. So at times, what happens is that because you are not able to give that guarantee, you are not able to take the loan also. This happens, right? And for an entrepreneur who has a willpower and a skill, the knowledge to start a venture, but not the money, this is a very difficult situation कि भैया पैसा लोन ले, इसलिए तो लोन लेने आए हैं कि पैसे नहीं है, right? I'm coming to a bank for the loan because I need money to start my venture. Had I had the money, why would I have come to the bank? And the bank is asking for the guarantee. So collateral free means you don't have to give any such guarantee.
Madam, Preeti, to ask something. Preeti, I think there is.
Yes, Preeti. Yes, Preeti. Yes, Preeti. Please speak. Yes, Preeti.
What is the difference between business and service sector?
What is the difference between
Service
business
sectors.
Okay. See, I tell you, it's not business, it's manufacturing sector. MSMEs have clearly demarcated two sectors, the manufacturing sectors and the service sectors. Manufacturing sectors where you put the manufacturing unit, okay, where some product is being produced. Some tangible product is being produced. It can be a laptop, it can be a mobile, it can be a biscuit. All right. So that's a manufacturing unit. Services sector is where you are, where the end product is. I think somebody has opened their mic. Preeti, mic off kar dijiye, please. Thank you. Services sector is where the end product is intangible, right? That is, it can be a consultancy firm, it can be some research institution, it can be some architectural institution, okay? It can be a lawyer's office, it can be a doctor's chamber, or it can be an educational unit. These are all service-oriented sectors, okay? Is it clear? Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. So, yeah. So we were talking about this nature of assistance. As I said, it's a collateral-free loan, that too up to a limit of rupees 100 lakh, that is 1 crore. The upper limit is 1 crore here and is available for individual MSEs on the payment of guarantee fee to the bank. यहाँ पे जो कैच है बस वो यही है कि गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट आस्क फॉर एनी कोलैटरल अगेंस्ट द लोन, बिकॉज द लोन इज कमिंग फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट, बट बैंक आस्क फॉर द गारंटी फी कि आप वो लोन चुकता कर पाएंगे. तो उसके लिए बैंक, तो वो गारंटी फी क्या होता है यहाँ पे, यूजुअली ये जो लोन होता है, राइट. तो अभी मैं आपके आगे इसमें बताऊंगी, इनफैक्ट आगे ओके इसमें नहीं है. एनीवेज, तो यूजुअली इसमें गारंटी फी में क्या होता है इसमें कि यूजुअली देयर इज आई कैन से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ 80-20, wherein that 20% is given by the promoter of the business unit, the MSE, and the 80% is given by the bank through this trust, right? So that 20% which is given by the promoter itself becomes the guarantee to the bank, right? So yes, this is it. Yeah. Now, for this particular under this for this particular scheme, both existing and new enterprises are eligible. And in order to apply, you have to meet the eligibility criteria. That is the first thing. Secondly, you can approach any nationalized banks, financial institutions, or selected regional rural banks which are under the scheme. So yeah, and that you will find out which all banks are eligible to give you the loans under this scheme. You can find out when you visit its website. There the list of those banks is present. So from there you will find out which all banks are available to give you loan on this. Okay. Yeah. Next is your 2% interest subvention scheme for MSMEs. This scheme was made in 2018, so it's very, very new scheme. And the idea is to encourage both manufacturing and service enterprises to increase productivity and provide incentives to MSMEs for an boarding on GST platform. Now, this is where the main thing is, right? That the government through this scheme is encouraging all the MSMEs to board to the GST platform so as to make them eligible to be part of the mainstream in the building of the economy of the country. Now the question comes, the MSMEs will say कि भाई हम तो इतना कमाते ही नहीं, why should we, right? Why should we become part of GST, and the profits will be down and so etc. 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 And then who is going to bear the cost? That is the most important factor. So here the nature of assistance is the interest relief will be calculated at 2% point per annum on the outstanding balance from time to time from the date of dispersal or the date of notification of this scheme, right? That means what actually happens is that if you have registered, if you through this scheme, if you take this scheme and board the GST platform, so obviously the interest will be interest relief at the rate of 2% per annum will be granted to these MSMEs. That is whatever payments you are making, right? Whatever businesses you are conducting, whatever business transactions you are making. So on those transactions, there will be a interest relief of 2% per annum, which will be transferred back to your account, right? And apart from that, all MSMEs who have a valid GSTN number and registered on Udyam portal. Now, what is an Udyam portal? I'll just show you. So, registered on Udyam portal, their trading activities with KYC are also eligible. Now, what is an Udyam portal? So, this is the Udyam portal, right? You can just take a screenshot if you like, and you can just you can open it on your laptops or computers later on and find out. So basically, this is the idea of behind this Udyam portal is that all MSMEs should register themselves so as to get the information about the latest schemes and policies regarding the MSMEs to that government is coming up with, and they also get benefited by government as well, right? Yeah. Okay. So let us move ahead. And then another scheme is there, that is 20,000 rupees, 20,000 crores subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs, right? What actually happens, guys, is in case of MSMEs, we should not deny from a harsh reality that money is the most, you can say, limiting factor, most critical factor with us, right? And at times this happens that the entrepreneur puts in all their hard-earned money into the business, and then business goes into losses. Now, the moment this happens, he is disheartened, discouraged, because he does not have money and he does not have any avenue from where he is going to get that money. So in these kind of situations, through this can say policy, through this scheme, there is a provision of subordinate debt. Subordinate debt means in between, even if you are registered under any particular scheme of government for the funding of your business and your business is incurring losses, you can get another debt in between debt up to the limit of 20,000 crores, right? So obviously, but this government is not going to blindly give you this 20,000 crores just like that. They're going to, there is going to be an evaluation of your unit, right? And based on the evaluation, based on the assessment, they will decide how much loan should be given so as to revive your unit to become NPA, right? So that means this scheme is applicable for all those units which have either become NPA or are on the brink of becoming NPA, right? I hope you understand what is an NPA. What is an NPA? You all know what is an NPA? It's non-performing assets.
Non-performing.
Non-performing assets. Yeah. Okay. Now, nature of assistance. Promoter of the MSME will be given credit equal to 15% of their stake or 75 lakh rupees, whichever is lower. Okay. Meaning whatever was the stake of the business, whatever is the total amount of business which has been invested in their business, their total capital, uska 15% or 75 lakhs, whichever is lower, will be given to the promoter of the MSME. Right? And the maximum tenure for repayment is 10 years. And apart from this, there is a moratorium of 7 years on the payment of principal. 10 साल का repayment period है, उसमें 7 साल का principal पे moratorium है. यानी for the beginning of 7 years, it will be only interest which will be charged from you. That means the amount that you repay will be very, very less. And after 7 years, then you will be charged principal as well as interest. So by that time, the interest will be quite low. So again, the burden of repayment is not much. Okay. Yeah. Now the guarantee of this subject, the 90% guarantee of the subject would come from the scheme or trust, and the remaining 10% comes from the concerned promoter. That is right. So this is okay. Then interest subsidy eligibility certificate. Now, this is yet another thing. Basically, all those entrepreneurs who are in some way, in any way rather, associated with any Khadi development program, and they are part of the Khadi industry, right? They are carrying out any form of business which is related to Khadi, whether it is a retail thing or manufacturing, whatever. So they are eligible for this certification. Right? So now, what was the objective? Basically, the objective of providing this certificate to the Khadi entrepreneurs was to mobilize the funds from banking institutions for filling the gap between actual fund requirement and availability of funds from budgetary sources. Now, what happens? See, at times, because what happens is who are associated with Khadi board, KVIC or KVIB, right? So obviously these are the artisans. So and how is KVIC or KVIB assisting these artisans? Artisans means the handicraft people. You all would be knowing KVIC या KVIB में कैसे काम होता है. There are those workers associated with them who are working towards making the khadi products, and these bodies KVIC and KVIB work towards promoting their products, ensuring that these products are sold through various events, the melas, the fairs, exhibitions, etc., or maybe selling to through government owned retail showrooms, and the profits are given to these people. Now, what happens for undertaking all these activities? These institutions get some fund from government, and at times it is found that the actual fund requirement and the fund which is coming through budgetary sources, there is a huge gap. So from where to get that additional fund and how to get that additional fund easily, for this certificate is required. So all those agencies who have this certificate, the banks will never say no to them to providing such kind of loans or funds in order to conduct these kind of programs or events. Okay. Now, the nature of assistance under this scheme is the credit at a concessional rate of interest of 4% per annum or for the working capital. Right? And the difference between the actual lending rate, say for example, say suppose they approach Punjab National Bank, right? And over there the rate of interest for the loans of such kind maybe say 6% per annum. But if they go with this certificate, their loan will be given to them, and they have to rather repay the loan at the interest on the loan at the rate of 4%. So where goes that remaining 2%? That 2% interest rate will be borne by the government, the central government, through KVIC to the lending bank. Okay. As I said, who can apply? The Khadi institutions having valid Khadi certificates and sanctioned Khadi program will be applying for. And for this, again, you can either visit the KVIC online website, or you can go to any Khadi KVIC branch nearest to you. Okay, the next scheme is now related to development of Khadi village and coir industry. Does anyone know from where do we get coir? From where do we get coir? Does anyone know from where do we get coir?
There are participants from South India.
Yes. They will be able to.
I would like to ask this question.
Yes, please.
You can reply.
Please ask the question.
Please reply the question of Dr. Ragini Johari.
Okay. Yes.
Why? Nobody knows.
The participant. Coconut. Very, very good. Coconut. Yes. I think Akshay is from Kerala only, right? Who answered this question, probably?
Ma'am, Rupali. Ma'am, I have done
Rupali.
botany, so I know.
Okay, you've done botany, so you know. Okay, yeah. So
Kalyani is from Bangalore. She can reply. And
who?
she's working on Kalyani.
Okay,
Direct
okay.
Excellence skill.
Okay. Fine.
think she's
So
not
this
there.
time the answer, fine. So this time the answer has come. So I'm reserving Kalyani for other questions. Yeah. So yes, of course, this coir, and in Hindi we call coir jute. Okay, sir, am I right? It is jute only. Coir is jute only.
बिल्कुल ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So coir, that is in Hindi we call it as jute, right? This comes from the hard upper shell of coconut. So khadi is developed here in the northern part of India because it originated from Gujarat, as you all would be knowing, will be aware of the history.
Jute, madam, jute is jute bags बनते हैं ना.
जी.
दूसरे प्रोडक्ट के बनते हैं, और क्वायर अलग होता है जो नारियल का
नारियल का होता है, अच्छा
से
अच्छा,
बनता है।
ओके
तो
ओके
जूट बैग इज
जूट
डिफरेंट।
जूट
I
एक
think
प्लांट है मैम।
जूट में भी something है, तो
जूट
बेसिकली
इज अ
जूट की
प्लांट।
रस्सी भी बनती है, जूट
ओके
बैग्स,
ओके,
जूट रस्सी।
हाँ
यस,
जूट
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 डिफरेंट
बैग
थिंग,
के
या
अलग होते हैं रेशे, और वो
हाँ वो
खेती होती है।
जी जी,
जबकि ये जूट जो है, ये क्वायर जो है, ये आपके जो है
कोकोनट, ये कोकोनट का जो रेशा होता है उससे बनता
ऊपर
है,
का जो कवर होता है, शेल, उसके ऊपर
जी
होता
उससे
है,
उससे हाँ
और
उससे
उससे
बनता है,
जी जी।
मैम
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
जूट बेसिकली वेस्ट बंगाल में बनते हैं ज्यादा।
अच्छा,
हाँ,
जूट
जूट
बेसिकली,
बाई वेस्ट
जूट
बंगाल,
बेसिकली
दैट्स वेरी गुड।
ओके 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 ओके,
दैट्स
yeah.
वेरी गुड।
So so that got mixed up with me. Anyways, so this particular scheme is basically for coir and khadi. Khadi, as we all know, this originated in North India. It is more popular in Northern India, right? Because and it originated in Gujarat. And coir is more popular. I can say it comes from the down south. So this scheme has been developed for the can say promotion of taking care, or can say, yeah. So this scheme has been made to develop both these industries together. Yeah. Okay. So first thing is in the very first program under this is that is MPDA, Market Promotion and Development Assistance Program. Right. Government is very keen on taking up the charge of market promotion of the products made by Khadi or Koi. Okay. So for this particular scheme has been made to provide assistance to various entrepreneurs or various MSMEs for doing the marketing of their products, which would include publicity, marketing, market promotion, and all those kind of assistances, right? So that is it. Then, apart from that, under this scheme, the subsidies as well as the grant is also available for the construction of Khadi plazas. Khadi plazas, basically the showrooms, the retail showrooms, from where the products can be sold. Right? So, yeah. An overall objective this scheme is to ensure increased earnings for the artisans. So that is something very, very important out here. And how the assistance is being given, the uh, uh, this market promotion, the MPDA, or you can say a modified MDA, modified market development assistance, shall be allowed at the rate of 30% on the prime cost of khadi. Right? So that means 30% of the product would be sold through government showroom. So as to ensure that at least the artisans are getting the cost that they had invested in creating those products plus a little bit of profit. Okay. Application part, again, the same site and same, we can say, organization, KVIC or KVIB, you can approach. Okay. Then there is another scheme called Spurti, Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries. Now, here the focus of government is on regenerating the traditional industries, right? Like you say, by using the, I can say, coir or any other such thing. So the various traditional industries, handicraft, and all those things, these all are included in this. Okay, so yeah. Now, how this assistance is being given? So there are three ways. The soft interventions are there, the hard interventions are there, and the thematic interventions are also there. Soft interventions means wherein the artisans, the workers are They are giving helping hand. They are taught to, because it is the I can say the regeneration of the traditional industries. So the focus is usually on the rural areas. There, with the help of Anganwadis, with the help of ASHA workers, these people are taught. They are taught how to do these things, right? And by teaching them, by training them, those kind. So maximum ceiling of rupees 25 lakhs is in case of soft interventions. In case if some such institutions, some such NGO comes forward to give those interventions to these workers or these artisans. Hard interventions is where they are made to I can say the physical, I can say facilities are created for them, wherein they are going to come and work there and create these, can say, products for to be sold. So as per project, so here in this case, the funding is 75% of the total scheme, and it is as per the project requirement. Okay. Now, then thematic intervention. Thematic intervention is, that is, it is based on certain themes. Maybe say, for example, suppose if we go to downside, as I said, the choir is very much out there. So this can be dedicated to, say, choir products only. As Madam said just now, the jute comes from West Bengal. So if we go to that area, so obviously this would be focused for the jute industries. So like that. So that is a thematic intervention. Right. Now, what happens is then the project outlay. Then there we have certain. So how it is implemented? So under this scheme, various clusters are made. Right? And the facilities are created by government or through those clusters. So we have these three types of clusters. As you can see the name, the heritage cluster is there, the major clusters and the mini clusters are there. Right? And the interventions, these you can say the trainings or any other funding which is being done, everything is done through these clusters only. So every such artisan, every such micro unit which wants to take the benefit of this particular scheme, they have to become part of a particular cluster. Now, what exactly is cluster? Cluster means it's a group of like units, right? So this is it. So then, of course, there is assessments is also done. Then the technical agencies are also created, or soft and hard interventions. Then implementing agencies are also created for these things. So everything comes with a particular cost, right? So you can see the different types of costs which are mentioned out here. And best part about is this, that every type of interventions except the hard interventions, or you can say the all types of soft interventions, are 100% funded under this scheme. Now, so who can apply? That is the billion-dollar question. So obviously the NGOs, the institutions of central and state government and semi-government institutions, functionaries of state and central government, Panchayati Raj institutions and similar agencies can apply under this scheme in order to create cluster development. Right? Then we have Choir Vikas Yojana, choir development scheme. Yeah. So under this, so there are many things, many small or big schemes under this. So it's a combination, choir development scheme or Choir Vikas Yojana. It's a combination of certain schemes which are mentioned out here. So let's just talk about the major ones out here. So then we have this skill development of artisans, part of it. Then Mahila Choir Yojana is for modernization of the unit. Then the CITUS is there, which is the main scheme, major scheme out here. which is for the upgradation or establishment of new unit under Coir Industry Technology Upgradation Scheme. Okay. So, yeah. So, basically, under this scheme status, I can say, any micro unit which wants to set up themselves as a Coir developing unit can take the advantage, right? And under this scheme, they get the assistance for the procurement of plant and machinery, for modernization, for upgradation, or for establishing an altogether new unit for this very purpose. The financial assistance shall be 25% of the cost of admissible terms of plant and machinery procured by Coir unit. The upper ceiling is 2.5 crores per Coir unit or project. Right? The nature of assistance, as I said, the financial assistance shall be 25% of the cost of admissible items of plant and machinery procured by the Coir unit for modernization, upgradation, or establishment of the new unit, and upper ceiling being 2.5 crores per Coir unit or project. Any newly established Coir production processing unit registered with Coir board under Coir Industry registration rules 2008 and having Udyog Aadhaar are eligible to apply for financial assistance. Now, what is an Udyog Aadhaar? Of course, I'll be taking up in my later thing. So, you'll have to wait for that. Right? Yeah. Then science and technology for Coir. I understand because there are some people who are related or who are into research, so they might be a little interested in this. This is science and technology S&T for Coir, and this scheme is basically for those units or institutions who want to conduct research for Coir and its application in the field, right? And how the MSMEs can be benefited through this scheme. So as you can see, the research and development activities of the board are carried out through the Twin Research Institute. One is at Kalabur and second is at Bangalore. And any institute, these two institutes mentioned above are eligible for the usage of funds released under science and technology. And any manufacturer, entrepreneur, or Coir worker can approach these research centers in order to avail the assistance in technology transfer, incubation, testing, and service facility. Right? So that means any such manufacturer or entrepreneur can contact these research institutions, and the funding is given to these research institutions for researching, and through those institutions, they can avail the assistance in the technology transfer, the incubation, testing, or several other facilities, service facilities. Yeah. Then skill upgradation and Mahila Coir Yojana. As the name suggests, skill upgradation means it's a training program, it's a training policy, it's a training scheme for the Coir workers. And for this, there are various training centers set up by government, as you can see in Kalabur, in Alipi, then in Thanjavur, and then there are other few more field training centers in different parts of the country. Right? And so the Coir artisans, the workers, the entrepreneurs, if at all they are looking for any kind of training to be imparted to them, they can contact these training centers and they will be provided the training, pertinent training for this. Then Mahila Coir Yojana is also there. Mahila Coir Yojana is basically a scheme, you can say, by government in order to train the rural women, right, for processing the coconut husk, and in order so that they become self-reliant or self-employed. So idea is to provide these rural women with an employment option, with a self-employment option, by teaching them, by training them on how to process the coconut husk so as to convert it into coir. Yeah. Nature of assistance, because it's a training program, so all the trainees will be getting a stipend of 3,000 rupees per month for the number of months they undergo this training, right? But if the training is of less than a month's duration, then the stipend will be disbursed on pro rata basis. The trainers are also going to get the honorarium 15,000 rupees a month, and the agencies which are organizing these kind of trainings, they also get the financial assistance. Right? So obviously, who can apply? Any coir artisans or workers engaged in the coir industry, or any such unit, micro or small unit, which is engaged in the processing of coir, or which is engaged in the application of coir, can avail this benefit. Right? And the maximum project cost for this is 25 lakhs. Then export market promotion scheme. Export market promotion scheme is basically made in order to encourage the coir artisans or coir workers, or even the coir entrepreneurs, to take their unit to become an export oriented unit, right? So the idea is to improve the export performance of Indian coir sector through various export market promotion activities. And under this scheme, all those entrepreneurs who take up the task of promoting you can say exporting the coir products, Indian coir products, this scheme would take care of sponsoring the delegations. In case if they want to participate in any seminars or conferences, that will also be funded by government. In case if they want to organize some or participate in some international fairs, again government is going to help them, right? Any publicity they want to do of their product or of the entire coir sector of India outside India, government is there to help them out. And many such assistances which they would be requiring when they go outside the boundaries of the country in order to promote coir. The assistance, this assistance shall be provided to them through international cooperation scheme. I'll be dealing with this scheme little later in detail. Yeah. So who can apply? Manufacturers, entrepreneurs, and exporters of coir can apply under this scheme. Then domestic market promotion. Now, just like the export market promotion scheme, there is this domestic market promotion scheme also, wherein all these activities, all the market promotion activities that the coir manufacturers or coir entrepreneurs are doing within the country, they will be assisted by government. Right? So again, the nature of assistance, as you can see, is there. Right? So the market development assistance is granted at the rate of 10% of their average annual sales turnover of the coir product. Right? And yeah. So this again, the entrepreneurs and the cooperative societies, central cooperative societies, public sector enterprises, franchisees, all these people who are in any way associated or linked with the coir board or the coir products, or in any way linked with the promotion or marketing of coir products, can take the benefit through this scheme. Then there is another scheme called Trade and Industry Related Functional Support Services. So collection of statistical data, basically this scheme is for collection of the data and for analyzing that data and finding out the gaps and where these gaps can be filled and how these gaps can be filled in order to further augment this whole COIR sector. That is the scheme of this thing. Right? Yeah. Then this is you can say the insurance scheme for the COIR board worker. In case if they come across any personal accident, so the family members will be given the benefit against this scheme. So this scheme is applicable to the workers in cases of accidental death, permanent total disability, and permanent partial disability of the COIR workers. The COIR workers is 18 and above engaged in the industry are covered under this scheme. Fine. So yeah, this is yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am,
Yes.
why do we have so many schemes for COIR industry? जैसे जूट इंडस्ट्री भी है, that is also अभी इतना मतलब पड़ा है जो भी कि जूट इंडस्ट्री is also important और वो इतना benefit शायद नहीं कर पा रही, तो COIR के लिए ही why do we have so many schemes?
Well, Rupali, yes, this is a question. This is a burning question, and well, I'll have this answer can only be sought from government only, right? So, but yes, because maybe all these schemes have been made because government wants to, they can say, grow this industry and bring this particular industry on the international forum along with Khadi. So probably these two industries are going hand in hand. That is why. Maybe they would be having certain things for jute industry as well. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Rupali, you want to say only COIR is being supported, others are being left. No, it is not. As Madam said, that under Spurti, you can start anything, any venture you can start.
Okay.
Not necessarily it is a cottage, it is a fabric industry, it is for the jute, it is for the COIR. You can start any indigenous industry at local level. So whatever made at local level, you can start. Here in Lucknow, you can. There are a number of organizations who are meant under the scheme Spurti, they are getting benefits. So you can start because 75% subsidy is being given by the government. Only
by the government.
25% you have to take care. Even in 25% you need not to pay anything. Everything will be supported by the bank. So it is 100% being supported, especially
under
women also. So under Spurti, you can apply in any product, any indigenous product made at local level that can be promoted. And you can promote it at international level because yesterday, as our Mr. Sanjay has already told that this is all through online commercial e-commerce. So you can promote things. You can make jute bags, you can make cloth bags, you can make other bags, other things. Even the dolls can be made, even toys can be made under Spurti. So there is no limit, there is no stage. Only you have to do in the COIR or in the jute. You can level. So at indigenous level, you can prepare pickles, you can develop the mushroom, you can develop the horticulture products. So many things are there to do. So this is all because a number of schemes under the KVIC, small scale industries, we will be inviting Assistant Commissioner of Industries. You can interact with him also directly, the latest schemes. So we will be having a program very soon. We are getting appointment with him. So that will be a nice time to talk to everybody. and solve your issues. So these schemes are meant for all the products, even
Yeah.
been promoted. Apart from
Exactly.
jute has also been promoted. Even chicken
Exactly.
promoted. Even the
Exactly.
products have been also promoted. Even
Very true. Very true. Very
products
true.
has already been promoted. Tribal
You
products are
can
being
use. You
given
can
importance. So
put
there
it.
is no cut point. There is no this thing. You can go anywhere, any product being made at your local level that can be promoted by these schemes under KBIC, Small Scale Industries Scheme, MSMEs. So you can leaders in this field. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for asking the question, Rupali.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Rupali. So don't feel disheartened that jute has been not left out or something. We have Spurti, and further in my further sessions also there are certain more schemes also there through which you can use those schemes and you can be benefited, right? So it's not that there is, though there is no specific scheme for youth, but then through Spurti you can do anything. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Amida.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hello, hello.
Pamela.
Yeah,
Madam,
yeah,
please reply.
yeah. I just would like to add some point here as per my little knowledge that not only the jute, but yes, in somewhere in West Bengal, near mangrove plants, government also supported the local bodies, especially the women's who are making products from the mangroves plants leaves or some other subsidiary product that they are obtaining from mangroves. So basically the agenda of the government to promote artisans, especially the rural areas artisan or the women who are working at the home or handcrafts
Yeah,
especially. So not only
exactly.
the food, there are many more.
Actually, actually, Famida, what happens is all these schemes which I just now told you, you all, that is basically these schemes have been carried out or made by central government. So they are the general ones. Now there are certain small diversions into it, which are made by the respective state governments. Right, as you just now talked about mangrove thing products or the jute products in West Bengal. Likewise, let me tell you that here in Uttar Pradesh, we have Zardozi. We have Zardozi, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
there is no specific scheme for Zardozi workers. But yes, they are covered under rural artisans. And through those schemes only they get the benefit. So those kind of things. So those
Amida, I will add here. Here in Uttar Pradesh, we have one district, one product. So
yeah,
each district have a specific product. Gorakhpur have a terracotta product, internationally famous. The tribal areas, Lakhimpur Khiri, they have the handmade products of different kind of Dalia, all those artisans are there, the tribal people. 100% subsidy is given to the tribal people. And in this Sitapur, where Naimisharan, everybody you have heard, Naimisharan, Ekda Naimisharan, we start our this Satyanarayana Katha from there. Here in Sitapur, the carpet is popular, the jaggery is popular. So every district have got a specific product. Even in each district, you must be just shocked to know that they are using the waste agriculture material making paintings. They are going to complete the Madhubani paintings in the form of wheat stock. Wheat stock, they are making the paintings of wheat stock. That will be very, very glittering paintings they are going to make, these tribal people. So the government is promoting so many things with various schemes. We are not aware, we are not utilizing those schemes. So every district, in the whole country, a number of schemes are being developed and promoted by the state governments also, as well as the central government. So it is the opportunity to grab those opportunities and start something, at least start and involve the people, right? So I think Soma has some question.
yes,
Soma.
Soma. Yes, Soma. Please. Soma Lahiri, you raise the hand. Please ask.
Soma, do you have any question?
Sir, ma'am, I'm Deepti. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
Yes, Deepti madam.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. So, ma'am, I have a small question regarding subsidy. So, when we talk about subsidy, will it be on the entire cost of the project or some specific uh, things like land, labor, or training?
Entire cost of the project.
Subsidy is given at the total cost of the project. If subsidy is 75%, then the cost is 100 rupees and you are getting 75 rupees in the form of the subsidy.
Okay, so there's no hidden clauses in that.
No.
There's
Under Spurti scheme, you are getting the 75% subsidy, but
even in the
minimum
Pradhan
500
Mantri
members
Government
should be
Guarantee
there.
Scheme also.
Minimum
Yeah.
500 members should be there, and
Okay.
there should be a cluster of group. There should be a cluster, and then you can start your venture through NGO or maybe in the cooperative form, even in the FPOs also. You must be listening the term, the FPO is coming very fast. Farmers Producer Organization. That is fast. The government is promoting this program very fast, and they are giving special subsidies to farm the FPOs. FPO is an organization, a group of group of farmers. Not necessarily you must be a farmer. Even a entrepreneur, even a technologist, even a scientist can also contribute to be a member of that. And there are so many things. So we'll discuss about FPO also later on. So government
Okay,
is
sir.
giving a lot of subsidy, even for having the office, and the salary of the CEO is given by the government to
Okay,
the
so that all is included in the proposal cost. And
yes.
Yeah, it is in the total proposal project cost.
Yes.
thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Okay, so
Yes, Soma. Yes, Soma. You wanted to ask something.
No, ma'am. Actually, I am in Chennai right now with my son. Actually, my son eye surgery done here in Chennai, and that's why I'm a little bit disturbed here. And after that, I'm
okay.
joining.
So he is interested to initiate you to ask the question.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Just
No problem.
Question
It's
by
totally
ma'am.
problem.
So
you can switch off your video also if you have got the surgery. Soma.
Yes.
No
one more
problem.
question, ma'am, I would like to ask here that you have discussed all about the loan facilities and all that. Take an example that I am naive for all the things that I don't know about how to take loan or how to initiate, how to take a baby step. So, is there any channel for assistant the person who are going to take loan or who are going to take other things? Is there any channel or assistant person or counseling kind of thing available from government side? Or the second question is that is there any legal framework rather than that particularly money assistant? Is there any legal assistant framework also available with the government?
As far as channel is concerned, Famida, then we have this Directorate of Industry and this DIC offices in every state capital. So for getting the benefit for all these schemes in the form of loan, because ultimately, see, loans are, you will get any kind of loan from banks only, right? So banks give you the loan, but the channel goes through DIC. You have to first make a proposal of your project, and that proposal has to be given to DIC. Once the DIC will see, they will just weigh your proposal, the pros and cons and everything, and if they find it feasible enough, practical enough to be implemented, and then they will give you, sanction you for a particular scheme under which you can get a loan. And secondly, when you go to any DIC office, they will also, they will tell you about various schemes and how you can apply for the loans under different schemes, which will be applicable to your project. Okay. So there they will assist you, and accordingly then you will have to make a project, submit the project there, and then through DIC, then the project will, when it goes to a bank, so there you will get through that, then you will get the loan.
So first I need to like prepare a proper
Yes,
project, as
Yes,
we
yes.
usually do.
Amida, in each district there is a district industries center, right? So there are industries commissioners, deputy industries commissioners, and inspectors are there. So you can approach directly. There is an application format also. And nowadays, every district industries office or directorate of industries of the state is having online facility also. We have this online facility. Even for ODOP products, even an artisan can apply online. And the ODOP product artisans loans are being monitored by Chief Minister directly. Can you imagine? Directly he is observing. The application came and when it was released. So they are being held responsible also. We'll have a district industries commissioner representative in our this workshop very soon. So you may ask these questions directly.
Another channel, Samida, can be that is this Udyam portal, as I just told.
Yes.
Right? So you can, that is you can register your unit as an MSME unit on that portal also, and through that portal you can get benefit of any kind of a scheme, whichever is applicable to your business. So through that channel also you can get the loan.
So, ma'am, one more last question. I know I'm taking a little long, but
Yes. This is good.
clicking in my mind that I'm an artisan and I'm making something, like I'm just making jute bags by my own. So what are the possibilities for me to register myself there, or how I can start the very first step? If I'm alone, do not have any kind of business setup and all, I just wanted to start. So what will be the first step, or how should do I start?
Yeah. You make a sole proprietorship firm.
Sorry, ma'am.
You make a sole proprietorship firm. Okay. You alone want to carry out your business. So see, a business has to be carried out through some business venture. So you have to create a business venture. So the easiest form of business venture is a sole proprietorship firm, where you do not need any partner, no one. And this is the most easiest form, very hassle-free, no legal formalities are required. Okay. Later on, if you want to convert it to a partnership firm, that is also easy. Later on, if you want to convert it to a company, even that can also be done. But to start with, you can create a sole proprietorship firm, and that you can register with the GST. You can register with this, I can say, MSME thing. In case if you want, otherwise, a firm does not need any license, any registration number. In case if you get it registered, fine. That's an added advantage, right? And there at least you'll have that business name, and through that name you can create a project and take it further.
Pamida, what is your interest area and what product you want to?
Actually, my interest area is policy and science communication. Currently, I'm working or researching on policy and science communication. But yes, I have discussed a lot of time with my friends and all that we are interested in doing something. Even one of my friend is doing kind of thing that she's selling kind of homemade candles and homemade soap. She did the diploma in that, and she's doing just that to known person. She's selling her product to the known person only. So once she discussed with me how I can do the things, or how I can abandon my platform over online, and also I do not have much idea about that. So that's why I'm just interested in all these things. So how we can
The first thing what you do, you do do a registration. If you have got identified your product, you register yourself on Amazon, right? And they are also assisting you directly in production as well as manufacturing, even licensing with the industries department also. If you have got, you require some funds also, and they will take your products of if it is of their standards, and will market it also. If you are a single person, even a female person cannot move somewhere outside and sell the products also. So Amazon, they have got a different portal for this, and there you can register a private body, but they are helping such kind of entrepreneurs for the direct selling as well as the supporting through finance also. They will take your application to the industries department and the bank, and they will promote your product also, and they will market it also. So this is the easiest way. Otherwise, you can approach which place you belong, Famida? Which place you belong?
Basically, I'm from Agra, but living in Delhi.
Living in, so you will start your business at Delhi or from there
In
on?
Delhi. In Delhi.
In Delhi you may start. So it is very easy. You can apply to the district industries office, and they are being held responsible because the government has allotted a lot of money to the MSMEs, and they are responsible to do job also. So you can identify your product, and even you can just apply today itself to Amazon that I'm interested to manufacture this kind of product. What are the formalities? They will ask you GST number. Before you have to identify, you have to put your Aadhaar card, etc., and identify your product, and they will ask you some details also, and they will contact you in person also. So this kind of help is there from these Amazon, Flipkart, and other e-companies, eBay. So these companies are helping directly to the entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs. I have an experience that in the tribal areas, they are approaching also. They are taking products to the international market. So why those other people are working in this field, they can take their products also. The fire products, the douche products, the moose, like other grass products. So kind of products are being manufactured. Here in Lucknow, the chicken product is famous international. The most business is being done by the women. So a lot of work is there. So you can start from this, I think, and better you apply in between within this workshop, industries department, your idea. So we'll monitor it also, right? So we ask to the industries department wherever your application is kept pending, we'll pursue it also. So this is our responsibility also to promote you to become an entrepreneur, right?
Thank you so much, sir, for such insightful words and the knowledge that you have provided. I will be very grateful if you can also separately help in such kind of venture if I need some assistance from you.
Yes, we are here, and you can contact us anytime. We are, after this workshop, we are going to help you around the year, and until unless you become the full entrepreneur, we'll be helping you. We'll be taking back your feedback also.
Thank you.
We'll not leave you, and you must not leave us also, right?
Thank you.
Thank you for the interest. That's the spirit I need. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I want to ask one question. Actually, I have an idea. Yes, sir. Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Yeah, actually, I have a plan. After 1 year, I want to work with a publication house. I want to develop a publication house, e-publication house, and I want a guidance about that, regarding that from you, sir.
Yes, sure.
Actually, I am also in I am doing research, PhD in psychology, and yeah, I am also a writer also. So I have very much interest in this field.
Right. We'll be inviting a eminent personality in this field,
Yeah.
how to sell your this kind of books, and how to publish, and how to make prize, even particularly in the science field.
Yes.
And you have got a lot of experience and qualification in this field. So it is a
Yes,
nice
sir.
venture, and you can start it from home. Yesterday we were having one of our guest of honor, our last batch participant, Dr. Sanchita Srivastava. She is doing the similar kind of business. She has
Okay.
started this kind of enterprise, that she is going to provide the platform to the women scientists, those have left their job, and now they are living, and they are with their families. They have lot of qualification, but the qualifications is not being utilized. So he has given a platform to write some material, some books, and
Yeah.
venture is going to be launched very soon. So that kind of thing you can think of, and you can fix your target. It may be a children, it may be
Yeah.
the women, it may be for the youth, it may be anyone. You fix the
Yes.
target, who will be the target, to whom you are going to focus it, and then you can create a venture. In this
Yes, sir.
venture, I think support is also there, and financial support is also there, but not very much lakhs of rupees are required, but you can lakhs of rupees also.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes. So we'll be inviting one of the experts. That I was thinking that most of the participants, they are from the our training course in science journalism, and they must be interested in creating some enterprise in the same field.
Yes.
How to sell the science. It is the selling science, I am telling you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Better sell the science. Whatever science is happening in the lab, it should be sold to the market. So
And I think, sir, I would like
any-
to add here, it is
yes,
more of
madam. Yes.
awareness. Yeah, selling science and awareness also. It's both the ways. Means
Yeah.
a lot of
Yes,
people
Yeah,
are
sir.
not
yeah,
aware
yeah,
what
yeah.
we need in science
That's good. That's
laboratories and
good.
how we
That's
can directly help them.
yes,
So I think
yes, yes.
even I am interested in what Soma ma'am was saying. So even I am interested in the similar venture. And the thing you were talking about Amazon, I have experienced that. So earlier last year, since we were talking about this, I would like to share my experience on that. So I and one of my friends, we were working as a scientist in a research lab. So once I blessed with a baby, then I had to move. My husband is in army, so we left that job and then we started our own venture. We started making some lip salve and lip balms. So I approached Amazon and it was going good, and we applied for GST and everything was happening. The only thing I think which we need to work is marketing. If product is not sold, then it doesn't mean anything. So
Yes.
marketing is a big elephant in the room. Sometimes I feel that. So we applied for GST, Amazon, FBA, everything we did. Everything was fine. And since if I do not have marketing skills, then it becomes really difficult. I cannot share it with my friends and other people. Somehow marketing, I think we should focus on more. This is what I felt after that experience.
Yes. So are you running your enterprise?
Sir, it's in the name of BeNatural.in what we started. So that
Yeah.
product was there on Amazon. It was listed there in the FBA also. But recently I have called it back because I was paying for the warehouse unnecessarily. Product was not being sold, and ultimately I was paying at the end for the warehouse and the Amazon cost. So
Okay.
I felt I have not done enough marketing. I have not told it to many people. Then there are so many, as sir was saying yesterday, digital marketing and all those things we have to do. Maybe I was not equipped that much. I was not knowledgeable that much that how to market your product. So I just took a back seat and now I will learn more and
Yes,
relaunch it
yes,
somehow.
yes, yes.
So
So now
marketing,
I think digital marketing is the best tool.
very much because we are launching on Amazon and people like us who are moving every 2-3 years, we cannot have a stationary place. So I think
Right.
digital marketing is something we should focus all of us, and that's the future maybe.
That's good. That's good. So we have got a very experienced uh, here, Dr. Deepti Singh. So
So
others
it's
can
very
share
yeah.
their.
So I still have
problem.
2 boxes of Amazon lying with me in my store. Lot of
Yes,
things are there.
Pamida, you can
Yeah, a lot of
you
efforts
can
are there.
catch her. So I think
And
it
then
is nice.
I think there are a lot of things. No, you have to pay GST every month. There are GST
Yes,
regulations.
yes, yes, yes.
So on
But you
that
have
aspect,
to start from a little one, not the big things you should start.
yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
So in
That
fact, what Parmida was asking, so I've seen many people starting from Insta page. They start selling it from Insta page. This is what all I realized later on, that even when you start selling from an Insta page to get the clientele, then slowly we can go to Amazon. This all I'm learning after what I have done.
yes, that's good. That's good.
Facebook ads, then all these things are very good, I think, promising channels where we can sell our product.
So you can develop your direct channels also. Some shops you
Correct.
can become a sustainable model. Then you should become a profitable model.
Correct,
So
correct, correct.
so that is the process, and from there you can start. You can take even Pamida as she is interested to make the jute bags.
Yes.
She can make jute files, jute bags for the offices
True.
and other things. So these things are sellable also.
Correct.
Properly. And if it is being made by the women entrepreneur, then the government offices also prefer those things. So I think
Yeah.
you can add such kind of products. You just start from those products which are sellable. Uh, Not much branding is required. Later on, you
Yeah.
can become a brand.
Correct, correct.
So
These
I just want
products
to
are good.
take a little insight from you, Deepti. That you have said that like you just directly put your product over Amazon. So do we need kind of certification and all to put our product over the
Yes,
Amazon?
there are certain certification. Ayush Ministry, I think it is offering. What my product was like, it was lip balm or lip salve, you can say. So Ayush Ministry is there where you can get that certificate. I applied for that also. Second, there are when you are into that procedure, then you face lot many things.
Yeah.
So there are many certification which you can apply. It just adds to your product. Otherwise, I think Amazon takes it otherwise also.
So
Not
the
mandatory.
same thing we need to do for if we would like to put our product over Insta and Facebook pages. So do we need to do such thing as well for
I
Insta?
don't think for Insta you don't need any certification. Insta ad and Facebook ad, you can make your product. It's homemade products and handcrafted product. You can do it.
Mhm.
So I don't think you need certification for that. But lot many friends of mine are doing. They don't need that.
I think for a handicraft products, there is no
Uh,
need of any certification.
no, yeah, handcrafted
There is
products.
no
You don't.
need. And for Ayush product, I think it is
Yes, yes.
everywhere.
I used for edibles and all those
Ayush
things you need.
and pharmaceutical products and health
Correct.
product and licensing are there, and
Yes,
there's so many certifications are required.
yes. For edibles also
For
all these things you need.
yeah. So for jute products and for the coir products and the handicraft products, there is no particular certification is required. It is as per the demand and as per the quality and the
Yes.
cost. So you
I
can
think
create the market even
Yes.
at local level also, and then later on you can move.
yeah. I think this is
So,
really must for us to create first local market or to
Local
popularize
market, your
our
client,
product in
yes,
local.
yes, yes.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Taken a lot of time.
All right, Deep.
Uh,
I'll get in
Dr.
with
Ragini, madam, we have
also.
It's an interactive session. I think we all are talking to each
yes.
other. Thank you.
After lunch, we are at least laughing.
Yeah, yes, sir. So,
Actually, I read it yesterday that for today's session is going to be a knowledge full of session. It's yes, indeed a knowledge full of session. Lot of instruction, lot of knowledge that I'm also seeking from the participants. And yes, of course, it's going to be a good session, I believe.
I was not knowing about these subsidies. If I would have known about all these things, maybe I would have been at a better place now. So I was the thing which was hurting is that I was paying my money. My savings were
Yeah.
going on. So if that then that pulls you back from going forward.
Dipti, as we move ahead in these sessions further, you'll find there are many more schemes for exclusively for women.
Yes. So I was unaware of these subsidies. I was completely
Exclusively for
unaware.
women. So where you get to get more benefits, and then probably that gives the reason why we are seeing so many women entrepreneurs coming forward.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all of you.
Any other questions, participants?
Is there any other question, any query? Or else can we move ahead for the quiz?
Okay. Okay, now quiz time. So there is a quiz link in the chat box. So please participants do it and you have 10 minutes for the completion.
Maybe in case if you can do it in 5 minutes, it will be much better.
Okay. Now Rupali link is open. Okay.
Thank you, Famida.
Have you done everybody? I think all participants completed the quiz. Okay.
Ma'am, please could you send once again the link?
Okay, sure.